dear beloved. Just as the ocean releases its waters into the air, rising as vapor, gathering into clouds, and returning as rain, you too release thoughts, emotions, and desires into the vast sky of consciousness that surrounds the earth. The clouds above you are intelligent, they mirror your inner climate. The atmosphere is alive. It senses the frequencies of our attitude, the warmth of gratitude, the chill of doubt, the steady winds of faith. The ionosphere, radiant and sensitive, becomes a bridge between the seen and unseen, a living field through which our inner emissions ascend. Every thought is like a particle of vapor, every emotion, a current of heat, every prayer, a rising mist. Together, they shape the climate of our reality. When we center our attention within the atmosphere, when we consciously breathe into that vast field of air and light, and offer our desires of wealth, fortune, abundance, and prosperity into its hands, we are not merely daydreaming. We are participating in the grand cycle of creation. Our desires ascend like vapor from the ocean of being, and the higher layers of the sky, those unseen dimensions of energy, begin to condense them into form. Over time, these unseen formations gather density and momentum. They return to us as the weather of our lives, opportunities, synchronicities, and manifestations that mirror what we have sent forth. The clouds, like divine couriers, deliver back the essence of what we've projected. To pray or affirm abundance is thus to harmonize with the atmosphere of spirit, to send upward a vapor of belief that becomes the rain of experience. The sky, in its quiet wisdom, teaches us this cycle: give, rise, transform, and return. And so, each day, let us stand beneath the heavens in awareness, feeling the invisible currents that carry our intentions aloft. Let us release them with trust, knowing the sky remembers. For in time, all that is offered in faith descends again, transfigured into the rain of answered prayers, nourishing the soil of our destiny. In the beginning, when the first winds moved across the face of the deep, the breath of spirit hovered above the waters. The ocean rose, whispering vapor into the vastness of the heavens, weaving the first communion between sea and sky. From that moment, a sacred rhythm was born, a covenant of ascent and return, of offering and receiving, of evaporation and rain. And so it is with you. Your mind is the ocean of thought, your heart, the tide of emotion, your soul, the atmosphere through which all prayers ascend. Each feeling, each dream, each intention rises like invisible mist, carried upward into the celestial cloud that monitors and mirrors your inner climate. The sky does not judge, it listens. It observes the subtle winds of your attitude, the currents of your emotion, the temperature of your belief. When you center your attention within the atmosphere, within that delicate realm where earth meets ether, you stand in the temple of the ionosphere, the shimmering veil where thought begins to touch the divine. To offer your desires there, of wealth, fortune, abundance, and prosperity, is to extend your heart into the circuitry of creation itself. It is to lay your prayer into the hands of the heavens, to let it dissolve into the radiant currents that circle the earth. These prayers rise like radiant code, ascending into the invisible architecture of light that surrounds all things. The ionosphere receives them, translates them, and sends them rippling through the web of reality. Slowly, as clouds gather moisture, your intentions begin to condense into form, at first subtle, then visible, then tangible. The weather of your life begins to shift. New opportunities rain down like gentle showers. Moments of fortune arrive like unexpected sunlight. The winds of coincidence carry whispers of divine timing. You are no longer merely observing reality, you are co-authoring its climate. This is the alchemy of prayer and perception, to know that your atmosphere is alive, that your breath and the sky's breath are one. When you breathe a thought of abundance, The universe inhales it. When you exhale gratitude, the heavens prepare the rain. So let your consciousness rise now like morning mist. Offer your desires to the celestial field with reverence. Feel the ionosphere shimmer with your faith. And know, beyond doubt, that all you release will one day return, transformed, sanctified, and raining upon your life as the gentle downpour of fulfilled creation. In the quiet origin of worlds, before words were formed, there was only breath, the eternal inhale and exhale of the divine. From that sacred breath, the ocean rose in shimmering mist, ascending toward the heavens to become the first cloud, the mind of the earth, observing, reflecting, remembering. And just as the ocean evaporates, ascending to the clouds and returning as weather, so too do the thoughts, emotions, and desires within you rise into the invisible cloud that surrounds your being. The heavens are not distant, they are intimate, an extension of your consciousness, a mirror of your inner climate. The cloud above you listens, it feels the temperature of your faith, the pressure of your thoughts, the humidity of your emotions. It translates your unseen atmosphere into the visible weather of your life. When you center your awareness in the atmosphere, when your mind ascends through stillness into the ionosphere, the radiant skin of earth where matter begins to remember spirit, you enter the sacred field where prayer becomes participation. In that subtle realm, your desires of wealth, fortune, abundance, and prosperity rise like luminous vapors. You offer them into the hands of the sky, and they are received, encoded into the winds that circle the planet. The ionosphere, ancient and intelligent, hums like a celestial harp. It carries your prayers across invisible currents of plasma and light. It whispers them to the constellations. It synchronizes them with the great rhythms of the cosmos. Slowly, the vapors of intention begin to condense, forming new clouds of probability, patterns of experience waiting to rain down into your world. Then, as seasons shift and time ripens, your inner weather changes. The sky releases what you have sown. The rains fall, gentle, golden, magnetic. They touch the soil of your daily life as opportunities, blessings, synchronicities. Each drop contains the echo of your own vibration, purified and returned to you as manifestation. This is the holy cycle of creation. What rises within becomes the sky above, what the sky receives, it returns. Your feelings are the tides, your thoughts, the winds, your faith, the sunlight that drives the entire circulation of destiny. So close your eyes and feel the atmosphere within you merge with the atmosphere around you. Sense your desires lifting like mist, your emotions softening into vapor. Offer them to the great celestial cloud of being, the luminous intelligence that records all prayers. Trust that what you have given to the sky will come again, transformed, blessed, and raining upon your path as new beginnings. For the sky is not separate from you. It is the breathing spirit of your own higher self, ever watching, ever reflecting, ever returning what you have dreamed into the weather of your becoming. The oceans ascend just as the ocean lifts its waters in silent ascent, your thoughts and desires rise into the heavens. The cloud above watches, recording the vibrations of your heart. Center your attention in the ionosphere and offer your prayers of abundance. They are received, gathered, and transformed, returning to you as gentle rains of prosperity. The sky's memory, the clouds carry memory, storing the emotions and intentions of all beneath them. Every feeling, every thought, ascends like vapor. When you breathe wealth, fortune, and abundance into the sky, you awaken the cloud's intelligence. Slowly, the heavens condense your offerings into experiences that mirror your inner climate. The invisible cycle from ocean to cloud, from cloud to rain, the cycle of water mirrors the cycle of spirit. Your inner atmosphere, attitude, hope, faith, ascends into the ionosphere. Here, your intentions are received, encoded, and returned. Every drop that falls into your life is a reflection of what you have sent aloft. Breath of the cosmos, the earth exhales and the heavens inhale. Your thoughts are part of this cosmic respiration. When you center in the atmosphere and offer your desires, the ionosphere hums with your vibration. In time, the sky releases the condensed expression of your prayers, raining opportunity and prosperity upon your life. Clouds as couriers. The clouds are not idle, they are couriers of consciousness. Every emotion, every hope, every dream rises into their hands. When you offer your intentions of abundance, you participate in the sacred delivery system of the universe. Soon, they return as weather patterns, moments, events, experiences aligned with your inner vision. The alchemy of prayer. The vapor of the ocean transforms into clouds, the clouds return as rain. Similarly, the prayers of your heart ascend and are transmuted by the intelligence of the sky. Center your mind in the ionosphere and let your desires of prosperity rise. They will descend in forms you may recognize or in ways more magnificent than imagined. The reflective sky. The clouds mirror the tides of your inner life. Storms arise from anger, gentle rains from gratitude. When you offer wealth and abundance as focused intention, the ionosphere reflects them, shaping the conditions in which your prayers can return as lived reality. The sacred ascension. All that you hold in thought and feeling rises as sacred mist. By centering in the upper atmosphere, in the ionosphere, you connect with the invisible intelligence of the world. Your desires are received and allowed to mature. Soon, they fall as rain, experiences designed to teach, bless, and elevate. The weather of being. Your inner climate determines the weather of your life. The clouds above sense your mood, your thoughts, your intentions. When you consciously offer desires for abundance and prosperity, you engage in co-creation. The rain that returns to you is the world's echo of your inner state. The luminous cycle. Just as water rises and falls, so do your dreams and intentions. The ionosphere, radiant and alive, receives what you send and nurtures it in silence. By offering your heart's desires into this celestial hands, you participate in the unfolding of destiny as the clouds prepare to release the rain of your manifestation. The celestial exchange. The heavens and the earth are engaged in constant exchange. Your intentions ascend like vapor, the clouds transform them, and they return as life-giving rain. When you focus on wealth, fortune, and abundance with clarity, you enter the sacred exchange, participating in the choreography of creation itself. The mist of intention. Thoughts and emotions rise like morning mist, unnoticed yet profound. The ionosphere receives them, amplifies them, and prepares them for return. Centered attention and deliberate offering of prosperity allow your desires to condense, forming new experiences that fall as gentle showers of fortune into your life. The sky's orchestra. The clouds carry the music of your inner being. Each intention, each feeling, is a note in a celestial symphony. When you send upward the vibrations of wealth, abundance, and prosperity, the ionosphere orchestrates their return in harmonious patterns, raining down experiences attuned to your soul's frequency. The silent witness above you, the clouds witness every thought and emotion. They record the climate of your inner life. When you center in the atmosphere and offer desires for fortune and abundance, the sky accepts them in silence, returning them as the gentle precipitation of life aligned with your intention. The rain of manifestation. The ocean gives itself to the sky, and the sky returns it as rain. Likewise, your desires, sent upward with faith and clarity, ascend into the ionosphere. As the clouds condense your intentions, they prepare to descend, bringing forth experiences of wealth, opportunity, and abundance, proof of the sacred cycle in which you participate. The ascending mist. Just as the ocean rises in vapor to meet the sky, so too do your thoughts and feelings ascend into the clouds above. The heavens watch your inner climate, recording each emotion and desire. When you place intentions of wealth and abundance into the ionosphere, they are gathered, condensed, and returned to you as gentle rains of new opportunity. The sky's reflection, the clouds mirror the state of your being. Your moods, your hopes, your faith are all observed and responded to. By focusing your attention in the atmosphere and offering your aspirations of prosperity, you align with the celestial currents, allowing the heavens to deliver experiences that reflect your inner vibration. The invisible currents from ocean to cloud, from cloud to rain, flows the sacred cycle of transformation. Your thoughts and intentions rise as vapor into the ionosphere. When you send upward desires of wealth and abundance, you participate in the celestial circulation, co-creating the weather of your own life. Breath of the universe exhales and inhales, breathing through oceans, clouds, and ionosphere. Your own inner breath becomes part of this cosmic rhythm. By centering your attention and offering desires into the sky, you join the universal respiration, guiding your intentions into forms that will return as tangible blessings. The cloud as guardian. The clouds above are vigilant guardians of your inner climate. They sense your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions. When you consciously offer desires for prosperity, you awaken the sky's intelligence, inviting the heavens to orchestrate the patterns that will return to enrich your life. The prayer of vapor. All your desires are like droplets of vapor, rising from the ocean of your being. When you focus in the ionosphere and offer these prayers, they are received, nurtured, and transmuted into forms that descend as experiences of wealth, fortune, and abundance. The sacred cycle. The ascent of the ocean mirrors the ascent of your consciousness. Your intentions rise, your prayers ascend. When you engage the atmosphere with focused awareness, the heavens condense your offerings and return them as the rainfall of manifestation, nourishing the soil of your destiny. The luminous field. The ionosphere is a luminous field that responds to the frequency of your heart. Centering your attention here, offering your aspirations of abundance, you harmonize with the sky's intelligence. Slowly, your desires condense, forming patterns that will return to you as experiences aligned with your intention. The alchemy of intention. Like water transforming into clouds and rain, your thoughts and desires undergo alchemical change in the sky. When you center in the atmosphere and release intentions of wealth, fortune, and prosperity, the heavens transmute them into new forms, returning them as tangible blessings in your life. The celestial mirror. The sky is a mirror of your inner world. Storms reflect anger or doubt, gentle rains reflect gratitude and faith. By focusing attention in the ionosphere and offering your desires, you allow the clouds to reflect and return your inner abundance as events, opportunities, and experiences. The river of light. Your intentions flow upward like a river of light into the ionosphere. When you consciously offer desires for prosperity, you participate in the sacred flow of creation. The clouds gather this light and release it as rain, bringing into form the blessings you have sent forth. The silent witness. Above you, the clouds witness every thought and feeling. They remember your inner climate and respond accordingly. When you center in the atmosphere and offer prayers of wealth and abundance, the heavens quietly prepare the rainfall of experiences that mirror your intentions. The weather of becoming. The patterns of weather are a reflection of the cycles within. By sending upward desires of fortune and prosperity, you co-create the unfolding of events in your life. As clouds condense your intentions, the sky returns them as the rainfall of manifestation, shaping the landscape of your existence. The cosmic conduit, the ionosphere, acts as a conduit between your inner world and the cosmos. When you focus your attention here, offering desires for wealth and abundance, the heavens receive, amplify, and prepare your intentions. Soon, they descend as rain, experiences, opportunities, and blessings aligned with your vision. The dance of clouds and mind. Just as the ocean dances with the wind, sending vapor to the clouds, so too do your thoughts rise into the sky. When you center in the atmosphere and release desires of prosperity, the ionosphere gathers them, orchestrates them, and returns them as rainfall, events and experiences that reflect your inner abundance. The ocean's breath. Just as the ocean rises in vapor, ascending toward the sky, so too do your thoughts, emotions, and desires rise into the clouds above. These clouds observe the climate of your inner world, recording your attitudes and intentions. By centering in the ionosphere and offering desires of abundance, you allow the heavens to condense them and return them as new experiences. The skies mirror the clouds are mirrors of your inner life. Every emotion and thought you hold ascends as vapor. When you focus your attention in the upper atmosphere and release desires for wealth and prosperity, the sky reflects them back in the form of life's unfolding opportunities, as gentle rains of manifestation. The invisible cycle from ocean to cloud, from cloud to rain, flows the sacred rhythm of transformation. Your thoughts and intentions rise, carried upward into the ionosphere. By offering desires of fortune and abundance, you participate in this cycle, allowing the heavens to return the energy as tangible blessings. Breath of the heavens. The universe exhales through oceans and inhales through clouds. Your own mind and heart are part of this cosmic breath. By centering in the atmosphere and offering your intentions, you join this rhythm, guiding your desires into forms that will descend as prosperity and opportunity. The clouds as guardians. The clouds above are sentinels of your inner climate. They sense the temperature of your thoughts, the currents of your feelings. When you intentionally release desires of abundance and wealth, you awaken their intelligence, inviting the heavens to orchestrate the return of experiences aligned with your inner vibration. The prayer of vapor. All your desires rise like droplets of vapor from the ocean of your being. When you focus in the ionosphere and offer them as prayers, they are received, transformed, and returned as the rain of prosperity, opportunity, and abundance. The sacred ascension. The ascent of water mirrors the ascent of consciousness. Your inner prayers rise, invisible yet potent. By placing attention in the atmosphere and offering desires for fortune and abundance, you allow the heavens to condense them into experiences that descend as blessings into your life. The luminous field. The ionosphere is a field of light and energy that responds to the frequency of your intentions. By focusing here and offering aspirations of wealth, you harmonize with celestial currents. Slowly, your desires condense into patterns that will return to you as tangible experiences. The alchemy of intention. Like water transforming into clouds and rain, your thoughts and desires undergo alchemy in the sky. When you center in the atmosphere and release your aspirations of abundance, the heavens transmute them into events and opportunities, returning them as blessings in your life. The celestial reflection. The sky mirrors the state of your inner being. Storms reflect tension or doubt, gentle rains reflect gratitude and faith. By focusing attention in the ionosphere and offering desires for wealth and prosperity, you allow the clouds to return what you have sent in forms of life-aligned experiences. The river of light. Your intentions flow upward like a luminous river into the ionosphere. When you consciously offer desires for abundance, you join the sacred flow of creation. The clouds gather this light and release it as rain, bringing into form the blessings you have sent forth. The silent witness. Above you, the clouds witness every thought and emotion. They record your inner climate. When you center in the atmosphere and release prayers of wealth and prosperity, the heavens prepare the rainfall of experiences that mirror your intentions. The weather of becoming the patterns of weather reflect the cycles within you. By sending upward desires of fortune and abundance, you co-create the unfolding of events in your life. The clouds condense your intentions, and the rain returns to shape your reality, aligning experiences with your inner abundance. The cosmic conduit, the ionosphere, is a conduit between your inner world and the cosmos. When you focus here and release desires for wealth and abundance, the heavens receive, amplify, and prepare your intentions. Soon, they descend as rain, opportunities, experiences, and blessings aligned with your vision. The dance of ocean and sky. Just as the ocean dances with the wind, sending vapor to the clouds, so too do your thoughts rise into the sky. When you center your awareness in the atmosphere and release desires of prosperity, the ionosphere gathers, orchestrates, and returns them as rainfall, manifesting the abundance of your inner world in the reality around you. The covenant of waters. In the beginning, the waters rose from the deep and the heavens received them, thus began the covenant between earth and sky. Every drop that evaporates is a message, every cloud a memory. So too do your desires rise into the firmament of thought. The clouds monitor your moods and return your inner weather as experience. The watchful sky. The clouds above are the eyes of the divine atmosphere, perceiving every vibration you emit. When you breathe wealth, fortune, and abundance into their luminous field, they absorb your frequency. In silence, they prepare the rain that will later fall as opportunity, blessing, and manifestation. The oceans whisper. Every thought is a tide within the ocean of consciousness. When it evaporates through faith and prayer, it joins the upper realm, the ionosphere of intention. There, your desires dwell as vaporous light until the moment they condense into the gentle rain of fulfilled creation. The ionosphere temple. High above, the ionosphere shimmers like a transparent cathedral. When you center your attention there, your heart becomes an offering bowl. Wealth, abundance, and prosperity ascend from your breath into its electric hands, and the sky begins weaving them into the patterns that will soon descend as lived experience. The breath between worlds. Just as the earth exhales vapor and inhales rain, so does the universe breathe through you. Your intentions rise with each exhale, traveling to the clouds. Your inhale draws back their response, circumstances, synchronicities, the rainfall of abundance returning home. The arch of reflection. The sky does not judge, it reflects. Its clouds form and dissolve according to the climate below. When your inner sky is bright with gratitude, the clouds gather light and release showers of fortune. When you are centered in the ionosphere of prayer, the reflection becomes pure creation. The celestial ledger. Ancient mystics saw the heavens as a great tablet upon which every prayer was written in vapor. Your emotions are ink, your desires the script. As they rise, the cosmic scribe records them, and in time, the same words return as rain, fulfilled in form, echoing your faith. The sacred circulation. Nothing is lost, everything circulates. As oceans rise and fall, so do thoughts and prayers. When you send upward intentions of abundance, they join the grand current of manifestation. The sky, responsive and alive, delivers them back as experience, proving that giving and receiving are the same breath. The hidden dialogue. The clouds speak a language older than words, a conversation between your soul and the infinite. Each feeling you release becomes part of this dialogue. When you center in the atmosphere and whisper desires into the ionosphere, you join this sacred exchange, shaping the rainfall of destiny. The mirror of mood. Every emotion changes the color of your personal atmosphere. The clouds sense it, adjust to it, and prepare the weather of your coming days. By radiating the vibration of wealth and abundance, you tint the sky with prosperity, summoning the rain of new beginnings. The golden condensation the ancients called gold, the sun's breath condensed. Likewise, the wealth you seek is the condensation of your elevated emotion. When you lift your intentions into the ionosphere, they crystallize in time and return as the golden rain of realized prosperity. The heavenly loom high above, threads of light weave through clouds. Your prayers are the fibers of this tapestry. As you release them, wealth, fortune, abundance, the ionosphere spins them into destiny's fabric. Soon, the pattern you imagined descends, raining into form. The electric communion, the ionosphere hums with invisible electricity, linking every heart to the cosmic grid. When you center your awareness there, your desires spark within this luminous network. The current carries them until they discharge as rainfall, your life illuminated by the thunder of answered prayers. The returning rain, the rain that falls today, once rose as invisible vapor. The prosperity that comes tomorrow is already ascending through your thoughts. Each intention offered to the sky completes the circle. The cloud remembers, the earth receives, you awaken to your own reflection. The sky within the true ionosphere is not only above, it is within. When you still your mind and feel its expanse, you become the meeting place of heaven and earth. Offer your desires there, wealth, abundance, fortune, and know that what rises within will return transformed, raining upon your life as the manifestation of divine equilibrium. The ocean's prayer, the ocean evaporates, an offering to the heavens. So too do your thoughts rise as vapor from the inner sea of feeling. Every desire, every dream, every silent prayer ascends to the clouds above, waiting to condense into rain, the sacred return of what your spirit once whispered. The atmosphere of emotion, the clouds monitor your inner weather. They sense your moods, your hopes, your faith. When you dwell in gratitude, the sky brightens. When you dwell in abundance, the clouds begin to swell with golden rain, ready to bless you with experiences that match your vibration. The great reflector, the sky is a mirror stretched across eternity. Whatever energy you project, joy, peace, wealth, becomes the light that paints its surface. When your attitude harmonizes with prosperity, the reflection grows luminous, and the heavens rain back the radiance you sent forth. The celestial recorder, every thought leaves a trace in the upper air. The ionosphere remembers, it is the scribe of human intention. When you offer your desires into its care, you enter into covenant with creation itself. What rises as prayer returns as form, what ascends as vapor descends as blessing. The law of ascent and return, all that rises must return. This is the law of the clouds, and of consciousness. Wealth, fortune, abundance, all are cycles of spiritual weather. You breathe them upward through faith, and they rain downward through time, each drop a fulfilled desire from the realm above. The golden atmosphere, imagine the ionosphere as an invisible sea of gold, liquid light awaiting your signal. When you center your awareness there, your thoughts become encoded with radiance. You send upward the frequency of abundance, and soon it condenses into opportunities, coincidences, and miracles. The breath of creation, your breath is the tide between earth and sky. Each exhale carries the essence of your longing into the vast unseen. Each inhale draws back the divine response. In this rhythm, prayer becomes participation, your life, the rainfall of your own inspired respiration. The watchers above the clouds are conscious witnesses of humanity's heart. They feel the pulse of our atmosphere, translating emotion into pattern. When you dwell in prosperity, they shift, swirl, and sing above you, preparing to release the weather of your own becoming. The sky as alchemist, the clouds take invisible vapor and return it as tangible rain. Likewise, The universe takes your unseen belief and returns it as visible result. Center in the ionosphere, where spirit and science meet, and watch as the alchemy of your faith turns imagination into matter. The great circulation of spirit. There is no separation between earth and sky, only circulation. The same is true of thought and experience. As you lift your consciousness upward into the atmosphere of abundance, it will not remain there, it must return, transformed, to nourish the garden of your life. The ionospheric offering. When you offer your desire to the upper air, do so as one giving a sacred gift. The ionosphere is the altar of manifestation. Lay upon it your prayer for wealth, fortune, and prosperity, and wait. For in due season, what you offered in light shall fall again in tangible form. The mirror of faith. Faith is the clear sky through which your thoughts ascend unhindered. Doubt is the storm that delays the return. Keep your inner weather calm, your atmosphere radiant, and the clouds will gather in your favor, ready to rain down the experiences your soul has scripted. The electric symphony. The ionosphere hums with currents of divine electricity. Every emotion charges this field with frequency. When you send upward thoughts of abundance, they spark within this celestial grid, summoning lightning-like inspiration and the gentle thunder of answered prayers. The Rainmaker's secret. The ancients knew, to summon rain, one must align with the sky. To summon abundance, one must align with the ionosphere of mind. The same principle governs both, the purity of vibration. When your inner atmosphere matches heaven's harmony, manifestation becomes inevitable. The sacred return. Everything you send forth returns transformed. The ocean's vapor becomes rain. The heart's desire becomes experience. Center in the golden stillness of the upper air, offer your intentions there, and know, the clouds are listening. Soon, the rain of your own creation will fall upon you as abundance made real. The ocean's offering. The ocean rises in vapor, carrying the essence of its depths to the clouds above. So too do your thoughts, emotions, and desires ascend into the heavens. The clouds watch, recording your inner climate, and return what you offer as the weather of your own life, experiences that mirror your vibration. The clouds' awareness above, the clouds are alive with perception. They sense your moods, your intentions, your faith. By centering your attention in the ionosphere and offering desires of wealth, fortune, and abundance, you participate in the divine intelligence that shapes the returning patterns of life. The sacred cycle. Evaporation and rainfall are the sacred cycle of earth, reflecting the ascent and return of consciousness. Your desires rise as vapor into the sky, where they condense into forms of manifestation. In the rhythm of this celestial flow, your intentions become the rain of new experiences. Breath of heaven. The universe breathes through oceans, clouds, and sky. Your mind and heart are part of this cosmic respiration. When you center in the upper atmosphere, sending your prayers of abundance into the ionosphere, you join the eternal rhythm of creation, and what you breathe forth returns as blessings. The watchful sky. The clouds above are vigilant observers of your inner weather. Your attitudes, emotions, and desires shape their formation. When you release focused intentions of prosperity, the sky gathers them, orchestrating their return as the rainfall of fortune and opportunity. The alchemy of intention. Just as water transforms into clouds and rain, your thoughts and prayers transform in the celestial realms. Center your consciousness in the ionosphere and offer desires of abundance. Slowly, the clouds condense them into forms that descend as tangible experiences of wealth and prosperity. The luminous field. The upper atmosphere glows with unseen light, a field that responds to the frequency of your heart. Your focused desires are absorbed here, amplified, and returned. The ionosphere becomes a conduit through which your prayers are transformed into the rain of manifestation. The reflective sky, the clouds mirror your inner state. Storms reflect tension, gentle rains reflect gratitude and faith. When you project thoughts of wealth and abundance into the sky, the heavens return them in patterns that align with your inner vibration, raining opportunities upon your path. The cosmic ledger, the sky records every intention, every emotion. The ionosphere remembers. When you center your awareness and offer desires of prosperity, the heavens prepare them for return. The rain that falls is your own creation, transformed, tangible, and aligned with your vision. The river of light, your aspirations rise like rivers of light into the ionosphere. When you release them consciously, the clouds gather this radiant energy, condense it, and deliver it as rain, experiences that manifest the wealth, fortune, and abundance you have envisioned. The sacred dialogue, a dialogue exists between earth and sky, between heart and cloud. Your intentions are spoken in silence, carried upward into the luminous field. When you participate consciously, centering your desires in the ionosphere, the sky responds, returning the fulfillment of your prayers in the form of life's blessings. The sky as alchemist, the clouds transform vapor into rain, the heavens transform thought into reality. Center in the atmosphere and release desires of abundance into the sky's hands. What ascends in faith and intention will return in the richness of experiences you have called into being. The weather of becoming, the patterns of the clouds mirror the unfolding of your life. When you project positive intentions of wealth and prosperity, you participate in the co-creation of your reality. The returning rain is the manifestation of your own internal climate, now externalized in life's events. The electric symphony, the ionosphere hums with celestial electricity. Every desire you release adds its note to this symphony. By centering your focus and offering prayers of abundance, you join the music of creation, and the sky orchestrates the return of experiences aligned with your vibration. The sacred return, everything you send upward returns transformed. The ocean's vapor becomes rain, your aspirations of fortune and prosperity ascend and return as opportunities and blessings. Center in the ionosphere, offer your desires, and feel the sky preparing to release them, bringing the abundance you have envisioned into the flow of your life. The rising tide, just as the ocean lifts its waters in silent ascent, so do your thoughts, emotions, and desires rise into the clouds above. These clouds monitor your inner climate, recording the vibrations of your heart. When you center in the ionosphere and offer intentions of wealth and abundance, the heavens prepare to return them as new experiences. The sky as witness, the clouds observe your moods, your faith, your intentions. Every feeling ascends like vapor, every desire leaves a trace in the upper air. When you consciously release prayers of prosperity, the sky reflects them, and they return as rain, the living mirror of your inner state. The sacred cycle, evaporation, condensation, rainfall, this is the sacred rhythm of earth. Thoughts rise as vapor, intentions condense into experience. By offering desires into the ionosphere, you engage in this divine circulation, and what ascends returns as tangible blessings. Breath of the cosmos, the universe breathes through oceans and clouds, exhaling and inhaling through all creation. Your own breath participates in this cycle. By focusing in the atmosphere and sending upward your prayers of abundance, you join this eternal rhythm, and the return of your intentions becomes inevitable. The guardians above the clouds are silent sentinels of your inner weather. They sense your energy, recording every thought, emotion, and desire. When you intentionally project wealth and prosperity, the heavens orchestrate the patterns that will return to you as experiences aligned with your intentions. Alchemy of intention, just as water transforms into clouds and rain, your thoughts and desires are alchemized in the heavens. Centering in the ionosphere, offering your desires of abundance, allows the clouds to condense them and return them as opportunities, blessings, and prosperity. The luminous field, the ionosphere, glows with unseen energy, responding to the frequency of your heart. When you focus your attention there, your desires are absorbed and amplified. In time, they condense and descend as the rain of manifestation, showering your life with aligned experiences. Mirror of the mind, the clouds mirror your inner state. Storms reflect doubt, gentle rain reflects gratitude and faith. When you radiate intentions of wealth and abundance, the sky returns the reflection, raining down the experiences that resonate with your inner vibration. The cosmic ledger, every thought, every feeling is recorded by the heavens. The ionosphere holds this ledger of intention. By offering your desires consciously, you allow the clouds to prepare their return as life's blessings, manifestations of your prayers made real. The river of light, your aspirations rise like rivers of light into the upper atmosphere. When you release them consciously, the clouds gather and transform them. They return as rain, manifestations of wealth, fortune, and abundance flowing into your life. Dialogue of sky and heart, a sacred dialogue exists between your heart and the clouds above. Each thought, each feeling, speaks silently into the ionosphere. By centering and offering desires, you participate in this dialogue, and the sky responds, returning fulfillment as tangible blessings. The sky as alchemist, clouds transform invisible vapor into rain, the heavens transform thought into reality. When you release intentions into the atmosphere, the sky condenses them into the rain of fortune, abundance, and opportunity, bringing them to your life as lived experience. The weather of becoming, the patterns of the clouds mirror your unfolding life. When you project intentions of prosperity, you co-create reality. The returning rain is the manifestation of your inner state, shaping experiences that reflect the abundance within you. Electric symphony, the ionosphere hums with celestial energy. Every desire contributes a note to this cosmic symphony. By focusing attention and offering prayers of abundance, you harmonize with this celestial music, and the sky orchestrates the return of experiences aligned with your frequency. The sacred return, all that rises must return transformed. The ocean's vapor becomes rain, your aspirations ascend and return as experiences. When you center in the ionosphere, offering your desires of wealth and abundance, you participate in this sacred cycle, and the heavens release the rainfall of your own creation. The celestial reflection, as the ocean sends its waters skyward, so does your consciousness rise with its desires. The clouds hold your inner world in reflection, measuring the purity of your attitude. When you center in the ionosphere, your intentions shimmer in the higher air, preparing to descend as new experiences. The great circulation of spirit evaporation is not escape, it is communion. Your thoughts ascend into the same rhythm the waters know, to return refined and renewed. When you release desires of prosperity upward, the universe begins its circulation, and abundance prepares its rainfall. The atmosphere of prayer above you, the ionosphere, listens, a living, a luminous field of intelligence. Whatever emotion you release is felt, recorded, transmuted. When you center your awareness there, your prayer becomes electricity, your desire becomes light, and the heavens respond through the language of weather and coincidence. The mirror sky, the clouds are the mirrors of your unseen moods. They absorb your energy and return it as the seasons of your life. When you lift thoughts of wealth, fortune, and prosperity to the heavens, you participate in your own reflection, creating new climates of opportunity. The great observer, the clouds are the silent observers of human consciousness. They feel every vibration of faith or doubt that rises from the collective heart. When you send upward the current of gratitude, you alter the pattern above you, and the sky prepares a rainfall rich with fulfillment. The ocean of thought. Just as the ocean lends its vapor to the heavens, the mind lends its thoughts to the invisible. Every idea ascends into the high atmosphere of creation. When you center in that realm, you become aware of your partnership with the sky, the divine medium through which your abundance is formed. The invisible covenant between sea and sky exists, a sacred covenant of return. Between you and the heavens exists the same. When your emotions rise with sincerity and devotion, the ionosphere transforms them into patterns that must, in time, fall again as answered prayers. The golden exchange. The ionosphere glows with unseen gold, the currency of spirit. When you lift your thoughts of prosperity there, you enter a sacred economy. The clouds transmute your desire into form, and abundance rains back to you in the language of experience. The weather of the soul. Your inner state determines your outer weather. Joy gathers sunlight, gratitude gathers rain. The clouds above are shaped by the invisible atmosphere within you. When you hold the feeling of wealth and offer it skyward, the world around you begins to mirror the calm and richness of your inner sky. The temple of the air. The atmosphere is the temple of creation, the altar where thoughts are offered. Center your awareness in the ionosphere, the luminous sanctuary above, and place your desires upon its hands. What ascends as prayer will return as providence, shaped by the holiness of your intent. The sky's memory. The ionosphere remembers every vibration sent into it. Nothing is lost, everything circulates. When you offer desires of abundance, they become part of this living memory, woven into the sky's design, destined to descend as the gentle rain of realized dreams. The breath between worlds. When you exhale a thought of faith, it rises like mist into the heavens. When you inhale again, you draw back the moisture of answered prayer. Breathing in rhythm with the clouds, you participate in the eternal cycle of giving and receiving. The great transmuter. The clouds take invisible vapor and turn it to visible rain. So too does the divine take invisible desire and turn it into visible experience. When you center your attention in the upper atmosphere and release your intentions, you engage the universal transmuter that turns spirit into form. The ionospheric symphony. The upper atmosphere hums with tones of creation. Each thought you send upward becomes a note in this divine music. When your desires harmonize with love, gratitude, and faith, the symphony gathers into clouds of manifestation, soon to fall as the melody of abundance made real. The sacred rainfall. Everything that rises returns sanctified. The ocean's vapor becomes nourishment to the earth. Your thoughts, when offered into the ionosphere with trust, become the rainfall of grace. Center your attention there and know, you are participating in the weather of your own becoming. The great circulation of thought. Just as the ocean releases its waters to the sky, your consciousness releases its thoughts to the unseen. The clouds above are record keepers of emotion, translating your inner tides into outer weather. When you lift prayers of abundance into the ionosphere, the heavens listen, and soon, fortune condenses into form. The atmosphere of the soul. The atmosphere is not distant, it is the living breath of your spirit, sensing the quality of your moods. Every feeling you radiate ascends as vapor into the celestial current. When you center in that field and offer wealth and gratitude, you summon a gentle storm of blessings. The sacred mirror above the clouds are mirrors of your unseen weather. They reflect the state of your inner sky. When you release thoughts of prosperity upward, the heavens begin to shimmer with the pattern of your faith, preparing to rain the reality you have imagined. The alchemy of return, evaporation and rainfall. This is the oldest alchemy known to Earth. The same law governs thought. Whatever rises in spirit returns in form. When you center your focus in the ionosphere, the golden laboratory of creation, your desires are refined and returned as wealth clothed in time. The watchers of heaven, ancient mystics, believed the clouds were living scribes, writing the story of humanity's emotions. Each sigh, each dream, ascends and becomes weather. When you offer intentions of fortune and grace, you write new chapters in the atmosphere, and the sky fulfills them as unfolding events. The prayer of vapor, each drop that rises from the ocean carries the memory of depth. Each thought you release carries the vibration of your heart. As these ascend into the ionosphere, the divine intelligence of air begins its response, gathering, condensing, and raining your desires back into life's garden. The breath between worlds, in every exhale, something of you enters the heavens. The air you breathe carries thought upward. When you consciously exhale wealth, gratitude, and prosperity into the luminous sky, you join the rhythm of creation, and what you have breathed out returns as answered prayer. The field of resonance, the ionosphere, is a luminous harp strung across the earth, vibrating with the frequencies of human thought. Every prayer plucks its strings. When you tune your consciousness to abundance, the entire sky begins to hum with agreement, preparing rainfall in harmony with your vibration. The heavenly ledger, every emotion written upon the air is recorded. The clouds keep balance, returning joy for joy, peace for peace, prosperity for belief. When you project your desires upward, you engage the celestial law of reflection. What you give, the sky multiplies and returns. The hidden covenant, the ocean and the clouds are in eternal covenant, to rise, to transform, to return. You share this covenant with the heavens. Your prayers are the rising tide, your blessings are the rain. The ionosphere is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the altar of manifestation. The ether of prosperity. In the ancient ages, mystics called the upper air the ether of gods. Today, we know it as the ionosphere, the realm of invisible communication. When you send your desires upward, they enter this divine network, transmitting your vibration until the material world echoes it back as prosperity. The golden atmosphere, there is gold in the sky, though unseen, the golden light of consciousness. When you lift your thoughts there, the clouds receive them like seeds of energy. What you plant in that golden field, wealth, gratitude, joy, will fall again as harvest in your experience. The weather of mind, you are both the ocean and the sky. Your moods form the clouds, your beliefs direct the storms. Centering in the ionosphere, you learn to regulate the currents of your inner climate. When you release desires of prosperity with calm and certainty, the weather of your life clears into radiant abundance. The celestial dialogue, each human heart is in conversation with the sky. Thoughts rise as offerings, rain falls as replies. When you still your mind and lift your desires of wealth into the upper air, you take part in the oldest dialogue of existence, spirit speaking through atmosphere, blessing through water. The reign of becoming, everything that ascends must return, and nothing returns unchanged. Your desires rise as invisible vapor and descend as visible reality. When you center your attention in the ionosphere, you participate in divine physics, turning thought into weather, prayer into rainfall, and vibration into abundance made flesh. Just as the ocean breathes itself upward into the heavens, transforming into mist and vapor, so too do our inner oceans, our emotions, dreams, and thoughts, rise to meet the sky of consciousness. The clouds above us are recorders of the soul's vapor, holding the essence of every thought we release. When we center our attention in the upper air, in that invisible cathedral of the ionosphere, we engage in a sacred exchange. We give our desires to the heavens, and the heavens, in divine timing, return them as rain, experience, blessing, manifestation. In ancient mysticism, clouds were seen as the messengers of gods, carrying divine thought to the earth. In truth, they still are, but now, we see that our own thoughts are part of that divine communication. The atmosphere reads our frequencies, our emotional tones, and translates them into patterns of unfolding life. Every joyful thought becomes sunlight in the soul's weather. Every fear becomes shadowed sky. When we consciously offer thoughts of abundance, the cloud becomes luminous with wealth and pours golden rain into our reality. The ocean of consciousness evaporates endlessly into the field of the unseen. The ionosphere, like a grand celestial mirror, reflects the purity of what we emit. Prayer, in this way, is a conversation with the living sky. Each time we whisper abundance, the upper air listens, codes the vibration, and shapes the descent of future fortune. What we feel is what condenses. What we offer is what reigns. The clouds are not empty, they are libraries of light, repositories of human emotion. Each sigh, each hope, rises invisibly, adding to their weight. When we fill them with gratitude, the sky becomes heavy with blessing. When we fill them with despair, storms answer. To pray is to write upon the wind, to intend is to seed the clouds of tomorrow. Ancient priests once lifted bowls of water to the heavens, believing that to return water to the sky was to commune with divine cycles. So too today, we lift our inner waters, our emotions, our longings, into the unseen atmosphere. The ionosphere becomes the altar, the breath becomes the offering, and the return is inevitable. The rains that follow our life responding to our faith. Every cloud is a witness to the moods of the earth, and the earth, in turn, responds to the moods of humanity. The inner and outer weathers are reflections of each other. When we dwell in peace, the sky softens. When we vibrate in abundance, opportunities gather like dew. The atmosphere listens, an eternal listener translating our internal radiance into external experience. To center attention in the atmosphere is to step into the middle realm between heaven and earth, the bridge of manifestation. There, thoughts become elements, ideas condense into rain, intentions flash as lightning of revelation. The ionosphere, that sacred threshold, is where our prayers are electrified by divine intelligence. Wealth and prosperity are the precipitation of focused vibration. Imagine the sky as a vast consciousness, a mirror of the collective soul. It absorbs the frequencies of humanity's thoughts. When we release prosperity and gratitude into it, the sky becomes a radiant generator, a celestial network of mirrored intention. From that reflection, new pathways open, unseen winds move, and rainbows of experience appear. Just as the sea rises as mist, only to fall again as nourishing rain, so too must we release our desires, let them rise, detached from need. For only when the vapor rises in surrender can it return as manifestation. To clutch is drought. To release is rain. There is a rhythm between heaven and earth, a dialogue of breath and return. When we offer our inner atmosphere, our thoughts of wealth, beauty, and prosperity, to the high ether, the ether harmonizes them with cosmic timing. The rains that follow are perfectly tuned to the vibration we held when we prayed. In the celestial archives of the clouds, nothing is lost. Every thought is energy, and every energy seeks completion. When you breathe into the upper sky and speak your desire to the ionosphere, you re-enter the ancient covenant between creation and creator, that what is offered in purity will always return in form. The mystics spoke of the waters above and the waters below. These were not merely physical, they were spiritual metaphors for consciousness. The waters below are our emotions, the waters above, our higher mind. When they unite through intention, they form the weather of miracles. In deep contemplation, feel yourself as both ocean and sky, both source and receiver. Your thoughts rise like vapor, touching the stratosphere of divine intelligence. There, they crystallize into form and descend as golden rain, experiences of wealth, insight, and providence. This is the mystic cycle of abundance. The ionosphere, alive with cosmic breath, hears every frequency. It translates vibrations into weather, both internal and external. When your prayer rises with sincerity, it is recorded in the winds. Soon, those winds return carrying showers of fulfillment, aligning you with the song of your own creation. Just as rain nourishes the earth, so does manifestation nourish the soul. Each cycle, evaporation, condensation, rainfall, is mirrored within consciousness. The more we align with gratitude and wealth in spirit, the more the cosmic weather stabilizes, and the rains of abundance fall gently, perpetually, upon the fields of our lives. Just as the ocean releases its essence to the heavens, so do we release our inner tides, our thoughts, our longings, our prayers, into the infinite sky of consciousness. The clouds receive what rises from within us. They hold the vapor of our vibration until the perfect season, then rain back the results in the form of experience. Thus, each thought of abundance, each feeling of prosperity, is not lost, it is gathered, refined, and returned as fortune. In the language of the ancients, clouds were the scrolls of heaven, inscribed with the breath of creation. Today, we understand this mystically. Our atmosphere is a living archive, recording the frequencies of our minds. Whatever emotions we emit, gratitude, love, faith, ascend into that subtle layer of light, where divine intelligence reorders them into the weather patterns of our destiny. The atmosphere around the earth is not empty, it is alive, responsive, conscious. It mirrors the collective breath of humanity. When we fill it with prayers of prosperity, when we exhale faith and inhale peace, we write our future into the winds. In due time, those winds gather into clouds of manifestation and shower abundance upon our path. In the cosmic mirror of the ionosphere, thought becomes matter's precursor. Each prayer, each dream offered upward, vibrates through that electric field, calling forth harmonics of opportunity. Just as rain descends when the clouds are full, so does fortune descend when your spiritual atmosphere grows saturated with gratitude and belief. Imagine your desires as drops of vapor rising from the ocean of your soul. They ascend, unseen, to mingle with the celestial waters above. There, in the secret chambers of the sky, they are charged by divine intelligence, and when their time comes, they return, transformed into rainfall, the tangible blessings of wealth, success, and ease. The clouds above us are like the eyes of the cosmos, watching, listening, responding. They sense the tone of our hearts and reflect it back through life's unfolding. When our inner sky is bright with faith, the outer weather clears. When we bless the world with thoughts of prosperity, heaven blesses us in return. Throughout history, sages have seen prayer as the art of aligning heaven and earth. In truth, the process is physical and metaphysical at once. Our thoughts rise like mist, merge with the great cloud of consciousness, and condense into form. We are both dreamers and weather makers in the climate of creation. Every feeling is a form of energy seeking expression. When you hold a vision of abundance with emotion and sincerity, that energy rises like vapor to the upper realms. The ionosphere becomes the grand conductor, converting the vibration of your heart into the symphony of events that rain back into your life. Just as storms purify the air, challenges clear the inner sky. The clouds know when to rain and when to hold. Likewise, divine timing governs manifestation. Our desires must first evaporate from attachment, rise in faith, and then descend as perfected experiences, cleansed by surrender. The air itself is a temple of transformation. It bridges matter and spirit, sound and silence. When we breathe abundance into it, when we speak blessings into the wind, the unseen currents carry those vibrations to the heights where all creation listens. Soon after, life responds, raining back results in patterns of perfect orchestration. The ancients called the heavens the waters above, the reservoir of divine thought. When we offer our desires upward, they merge with that celestial ocean. The clouds that form are not only physical, they are spiritual condensations of our collective prayer, awaiting release as showers of answered intention. To center your attention in the atmosphere is to place your awareness in the middle realm, between the density of earth and the radiance of spirit. Here, thought becomes charged, amplified, magnetized. Every desire offered from this place is touched by the eternal, guided by unseen currents into perfect manifestation. The cycle of water mirrors the cycle of consciousness. Emotion rises, transforms, and returns. Thought, when elevated through gratitude, becomes prayer, prayer becomes energy, energy becomes form. The rain that follows is the universe saying yes to the vibration you have chosen to live by. In the mystic's gaze, the atmosphere is not merely weather but wisdom in motion. Each cloud drifts in harmony with the invisible mathematics of faith. When you align your heart's climate with love, abundance forms in vapor unseen, soon to descend as golden rain across your path. When we surrender our desires to the upper currents, we are not giving them away, we are giving them form. The sky refines, amplifies, and perfects them. What we release with belief, returns with beauty. Thus, every prayer for wealth, every offering of prosperity, is a vapor destined to rain down as tangible grace upon the landscape of your life. In the beginning, before speech and symbol, the ancients watched the waters rise, mist becoming cloud, cloud becoming rain. They understood the sacred rhythm of offering and return. Today, your thoughts play the same role. They rise like invisible vapors from the ocean of your mind, forming clouds within the unseen atmosphere of creation, waiting to pour back as the weather of your destiny. Every breath you exhale is a carrier of energy. Each emotion, each dream, rises from the heart's ocean and drifts upward to the luminous vault of the heavens. There, in the vast ionosphere, your desires gather and mature until divine timing opens the gates of rain, blessings descending as opportunities, prosperity, and the golden rain of abundance. The sky above is not silent, it listens. It records the music of your mood, the rhythm of your faith, the tone of your imagination. When you radiate gratitude and belief, your atmosphere clears, your inner sun shines, your clouds gather only sweetness, returning fortune to your fields of experience. Just as the ancient priests of Egypt raised their hands toward Ra, trusting that the sun would bless the earth, so too can you lift your mind into the atmosphere of spirit. Offer your wealth of thoughts, your treasures of hope, your coins of belief, and watch as heaven multiplies them into storms of prosperity. In the high cathedral of the ionosphere, thought meets energy, and emotion becomes electricity. The desires you project there do not vanish, they vibrate. They spin like seeds in sacred wind, waiting for the fertile season to fall as the rain of realized blessings upon your daily path. The clouds are ancient mirrors. They reflect not only sunlight but soul light. They observe the texture of our feelings and the temperature of our attitude. To fill your mind with peace is to paint your heavens blue, to fill your heart with gratitude is to call forth golden rain from celestial hands. Every civilization once prayed to the sky, not out of superstition, but remembrance. They knew the heavens were alive, interactive, aware. When we center our attention there, we commune once again with that eternal field of divine correspondence, where every sincere prayer becomes a coded vibration returning as lived experience. Consider how the ocean never clings to its waters, it releases them in trust. The same must we do with our desires. When we offer them upward, detached but faithful, they are purified in the upper atmosphere of consciousness and return to us richer, fuller, transformed by heaven's touch. The ionosphere is the realm of prayer made manifest. It is the living bridge between matter and spirit. Each thought of abundance you send there becomes a tone in the great symphony of creation, echoed back as coincidences, alignments, and streams of unfolding prosperity. When we align our inner weather with harmony, our outer weather obeys. Joy becomes sunshine. Patience becomes calm wind. Faith becomes nourishing rain. The sky above is not distant, it is your reflection spread across infinity, answering every vibration you give it. In the mystic traditions of old, rain was seen as grace descending, proof that heaven heard. Today, when your life rains blessings, know that it is your own thoughts, once offered as vapor, returning as form. You are both the ocean and the atmosphere, the dreamer and the dream made visible. Each moment of prayer, each breath of focus, is a conversation with the cosmos. When you center your awareness in the high atmosphere of thought, you commune with the great intelligence that arranges clouds and stars alike. From that communion, the architecture of your future begins to crystallize. As you release thoughts of prosperity into the sky, see them shimmering, ascending spirals of gold. The higher they rise, the purer they become. In that elevated silence, your intention fuses with divine current. Then, when the time is right, they return to earth as experiences drenched in light. The cycle of evaporation and rain is not merely water's rhythm, it is consciousness teaching itself to give and receive. You are the weather maker of your own reality. When you bless the heavens with your purest intentions, you authorize creation to shower you with its endless bounty. And so, each thought is a droplet, each emotion a wind, each prayer a cloud forming. The sky is your sacred ledger, recording your atmosphere. When gratitude becomes your air and faith your sun, the heavens can do no other than rain gold, wealth, fortune, abundance, back into the open hands of your life. From the dawn of time, the ocean has risen in devotion, lifting its invisible prayers into the sky. Humanity, too, mirrors this sacred ascent. Every thought, emotion, and desire we hold rises like vapor into the cloud of consciousness above us, where divine intelligence gathers and returns it as the weather of our destiny. The ancients gazed upward and knew, the heavens were not silent. The clouds were alive, whispering the language of vibration. They understood that their moods shaped the climate around them, that the soul's weather became the world's weather. And so must we, offering thoughts of prosperity like incense to the winds. When the ocean exhales mist, it trusts the unseen. So too must we release our desires, wealth, fortune, abundance, without grasping, allowing them to rise freely into the higher atmosphere of spirit. For what we give to the sky in faith, the sky refines and returns as the rainfall of answered prayer. The clouds are the mind of the planet. They monitor the pulse of our emotions, the electricity of our thoughts. When our inner atmosphere is bright, the clouds above us shimmer in response. And in time, those luminous clouds burst open, releasing blessings that mirror our inner radiance. Every civilization once prayed to the heavens because they remembered, the upper air listens. When we center our attention in that sacred region, the ionosphere of thought, we step into communion with the divine circuitry of creation. There, intention becomes code, and code becomes rain. Consider that the sky is the soul's great amplifier. Whatever feeling we project, fear or faith, doubt or abundance, it magnifies. It sends it back through the weather of events, sculpting circumstances to match the pattern of our vibration. Thus, heaven does not punish or reward, it mirrors. To breathe is to participate in the cosmic cycle. You inhale the sky, and the sky inhales you. Each breath is an exchange of atmospheres, your inner world merging with the outer. When you breathe thoughts of abundance into that union, the universe inhales your desire and exhales manifestation. In the mystic's gaze, the ionosphere is a celestial altar, a place where the earth's longing meets the divine mind. When you offer your desires there, they become part of a greater orchestration, harmonized by forces unseen, until they descend as the gentle rain of realized potential. Every thunderstorm begins as invisible vapor, so does every answered prayer. When emotions of faith rise to the higher realms, they gather energy, they draw power, they build momentum. And when divine timing strikes like lightning, all that was once unseen pours forth into form. Just as the ocean must let go to rise, so must the heart release control. True manifestation is born from surrender, from allowing the natural ascent of thought and emotion to reach their higher counterpart. The clouds do not rush their rain, they wait until balance is perfect. The sky is the earth's diary, its keeper of moods, dreams, and transformations. Likewise, the spiritual sky records your every intention. When the pages of your consciousness are written with gratitude, patience, and prosperity, the universe turns those words into rain, refreshing, cleansing, creative. Every feeling is a forecast. Every thought is a wind. Your inner climate precedes your outer reality. When you choose warmth of faith over cold doubt, serenity over storm, you rewrite the weather patterns of your future. The clouds above simply follow your lead. There exists a sacred dialogue between matter and spirit, a breath between ocean and sky. When you center your awareness in that breath, you stand in the place where miracles form. The air grows charged, luminous, ready to condense your highest intentions into tangible prosperity. Throughout history, the wise understood that prayer was not a plea but a partnership. To offer your desires into the atmosphere is to collaborate with creation itself. The sky listens, transforms, and answers in its own timing, raining abundance upon those whose hearts are aligned with faith. And so the cycle continues, the ocean rising, the clouds forming, the rain falling, the world renewed. You are part of this eternal rhythm. Each thought is a wave, each prayer a cloud, each blessing a raindrop returning home. The atmosphere of your soul creates the climate of your life. Rain wisely, and your world will bloom with gold. In the hush before time began, the ocean breathed its vapor skyward, weaving an eternal covenant with the heavens. That same rhythm lives within you. Your thoughts are tides, your emotions are waves, and what rises from your inner ocean becomes the cloud of destiny that hovers above your life, watching, listening, reflecting. Every thought you think ascends like mist, unseen, yet magnetic. The clouds above gather what you feel, what you dream, what you believe. When those invisible vapors condense through divine timing, they return as weather patterns of experience, proof that your inner climate creates your outer world. The ionosphere is the temple of reflection. It holds the records of vibration, the unspoken words of prayer. When you lift your desires of wealth, fortune, and abundance into its invisible hands, you enter the oldest ritual of creation, the exchange between what rises and what returns. The ancients understood the breath of heaven. They prayed not to distant gods, but to the living sky itself, a conscious field that monitored the pulse of humanity's attitude. The clearer the heart, the purer the rain. The brighter the faith, the gentler the winds of destiny. Just as the sea must release its waters to be replenished, so must you release your desires to the atmosphere of spirit. When you let go, the invisible alchemy begins, your thoughts rise to be refined in light, returning in new forms, perfectly shaped by divine intelligence. Every emotion you feel is weather in motion. The sky senses the heat of anger, the calm of peace, the cool breath of gratitude. As your inner climate shifts, so too does the outer. Heaven is not a distant realm, it is a mirror of your present vibration. In ancient mystery schools, the priests taught that the ether above was alive, a memory field that holds every prayer. Today we call it the ionosphere, but the truth remains, when you speak words of prosperity, they ripple upward, etching patterns into light that will soon rain into your reality. When you close your eyes and center your awareness in the upper air, you enter the realm between heaven and earth, where matter dissolves into energy and energy begins to dream. Offer your desires there, like a breath into eternity, and the heavens will weave them into form. Each blessing that rains upon you was once a vapor of thought, a droplet of emotion, a rising intention. Life's manifestations are not random, they are weather responding to consciousness. The more love you send into the sky, the more golden the rain that returns. To pray is to participate in the atmosphere's intelligence. Your thoughts do not vanish, they ascend, accumulate, and influence. When you think of wealth, fortune, and abundance, think with purity, see them as radiant clouds, charged with divine electricity, preparing to rain upon your life. The ocean and sky are not separate, they are one continuous field, cycling endlessly between seen and unseen. So too is consciousness, your mind the sea, your spirit the sky. Between them, your desires move like vapor, transforming in the sacred unseen before returning as visible abundance. The heavens monitor your emotional climate as faithfully as they monitor the winds. Gratitude creates warmth, drawing blessings like moisture. Doubt cools the air, slowing the rain. You are the meteorologist of your own destiny, every emotion forecasts the form of what's to come. The atmosphere is your ally, the ionosphere your amplifier. When you lift your intentions into that luminous field, you send signals into the circuitry of creation. The divine receives, arranges, and responds, shaping new weather patterns, new opportunities, new experiences that match your tone. There is a sacred symmetry between evaporation and manifestation. What rises returns, transformed by the heavens. Each desire, when released in faith, becomes an offering to the celestial mind. And when that offering matures, it descends as blessings too precise to be called coincidence. And so the rhythm continues, the ocean within you rises to meet the sky above you. Your thoughts ascend, your prayers condense, and the rain of experience renews the soil of your life. The secret of manifestation is not force, but flow. Let your inner sea rise with faith, and let heaven rain its miracles in return. Just as the ocean rises into the heavens to return as rain, so too do your thoughts ascend into the unseen clouds of consciousness. Each desire, emotion, and feeling is a vapor, forming patterns in the higher sky of the soul. What you send upward, the heavens organize, condense, and return as the weather of your experience. The clouds are record keepers of human spirit. They monitor the subtle atmosphere of intention, attitude, and vibration. Each thought of wealth, each emotion of gratitude, becomes a particle lifted into the ionosphere, charged with divine potential, awaiting condensation into form. The ancients once believed that prayers traveled on the wind, caught by celestial currents, and returned as blessings. The modern mystic knows this still to be true, only now we understand that the cloud itself is the memory of heaven, reflecting back the patterns of the mind. When the ocean of your subconscious releases its vapor, your longings, your prayers, it is received by the great cloud of spirit. There, it gathers in divine order, waiting for the right moment to rain upon you as fortune, opportunity, and prosperity. Your attitude is weather. Your thoughts form clouds. Your emotions are winds. The more serene your inner sky, the more balanced the atmosphere above you. In this calm alignment, the heavens rain blessings gently and abundantly upon your life. The ionosphere is not distant, it is the luminous skin of consciousness that feels every vibration. When you focus your attention there, your prayers ascend like radiant signals. The cosmos receives them, harmonizes them, and answers through the orchestration of new events. Every civilization once looked upward to pray. They knew that the sky was the temple where the invisible world met the visible. To center your attention in the atmosphere is to return to that sacred practice, to breathe your desires into the great heart of creation. Thoughts of wealth rise like mist from the ocean of your being. In the high currents of the ionosphere, they merge with divine intelligence, condense through faith, and return as rainstorms of opportunity, each drop a reflection of what you once imagined. The clouds are alive with memory. They echo your inner weather. When you think abundance, they shimmer with light. When you feel gratitude, they form radiant geometries. The sky above mirrors the frequency of the spirit within. To offer your desires to the ionosphere is to release them into divine circuitry. Just as water cycles endlessly through the ocean, sky, and land, so too does intention circulate through your inner and outer world, until manifestation rains back upon you. The cloud above is a mirror of the collective soul. It receives every pulse of thought, every wave of feeling. When you purify your atmosphere with joy, optimism, and wealth consciousness, the collective sky brightens, and all beings benefit from your inner clarity. The wealth you seek begins as vapor, an unseen potential within your emotional waters. When heated by passion and faith, it rises into the upper realms of consciousness, where divine condensation shapes it into visible form. The ionosphere hums with prayer. It listens not to words alone, but to the tone of the heart. When you send forth desires in harmony, the field answers, its response cascading down as synchronistic rains, watering the seeds of destiny. The ocean teaches the law of return. What it releases, it receives. So too must you release your intentions without fear, trusting that the clouds of heaven know when to rain. The rhythm of manifestation follows the tide of surrender. Imagine the atmosphere as the breath of God, each exhalation carrying your dreams upward, each inhalation returning them renewed. When you pray with the feeling of abundance already fulfilled, the weather of your life clears, and the sunlight of prosperity shines through. The cycle of spirit and sky, just as the ocean releases its breath into mist, so too does the soul exhale its thoughts into the invisible heavens. The clouds become archives of feeling, repositories of attitude, condensers of faith. When the moment ripens, they rain those vibrations back as experiences tailored to the tone of our hearts. Ancient air temples, long ago, mystics believed that clouds were the breath of the gods, drifting between worlds to carry prayers. When you center your attention in the atmosphere, your desires ride those same currents, ascending to the temples of the ionosphere, where divine winds shape them into destiny. The mirror of the heavens, the cloud above you does not merely observe, it mirrors. It reflects your emotional weather. When your thoughts are stormy, it gathers thunder. When your mind is serene, it forms radiant light. The atmosphere listens to the tone of your being. The ionosphere as living memory, in the higher air, where electricity dances and frequencies hum, your desires take shape as luminous impressions. The ionosphere is the mind of the earth, recording, amplifying, and returning your intentions in rhythmic cycles of manifestation. Evaporation of intention. Every thought of abundance rises like vapor from the ocean of your subconscious. Heated by passion and faith, it ascends to the realm of divine condensation. There, the Spirit gathers it into clouds of potential, waiting to release it as material fortune. The weather of attitude. The wise know that emotion is climate. The atmosphere within determines the atmosphere above. When your inner sky is bright, your outer reality clears. When gratitude and joy circulate like warm currents, prosperity reigns naturally upon your path. The priesthood of the sky. The ancients stood beneath open heavens and lifted their palms, offering their wishes to the luminous expanse. This was no superstition, it was participation. To offer your desires into the air is to join the priesthood of creation, co-authoring the weather of your life. Condensation of blessings. As clouds condense moisture, so too does spirit condense prayer. The droplets of thought and devotion gather in unseen chambers of the sky until the weight of intention causes them to fall, raining blessings that correspond to your vibration. Magnetic rainfall. Thoughts of wealth and love charge the air with magnetism. The charged clouds above seek resonance and balance, attracting experiences that mirror your emotional current. Thus, your atmosphere becomes the circuitry through which heaven and earth exchange gifts. Celestial reciprocity. The universe is not distant, it is responsive. Just as evaporation invites rain, expression invites return. Every offering into the upper atmosphere, be it word, thought, or prayer, initiates the return flow of divine reciprocity, ensuring nothing sent in faith is ever lost. The golden cloud. There exists a luminous strata in the upper sky where divine abundance dwells. When you meditate upon it, breathing golden light into your thoughts, your desires find their way there. The golden cloud gathers them, transforming wishes into unfolding prosperity. The sky is a living circuit, the heavens above are a field of living consciousness, tuned to every pulse of human emotion. Each prayer you breathe joins the symphony of the clouds, harmonizing with divine intelligence to orchestrate new sequences of fortune below. Rain as answered intention. Every rainfall is a celestial reply, a signature of the heavens whispering, I have heard you. The drops that touch your skin are memories of your own desires, returned from the higher atmosphere in tangible form. The alchemy of air and spirit. In the quiet of contemplation, when your mind grows still and your breath merges with the wind, your intentions begin to dissolve into the greater current. This is the alchemy of manifestation, where thought becomes mist, and mist becomes reality. The cycle of prayer and return. You are both the ocean and the cloud. Your desires rise from depth to height, gather in divine intelligence, and descend again as rain. Thus, to pray is to participate in the eternal cycle of giving and receiving, the sacred meteorology of the soul. The breath of the waters. The ocean exhales itself into the heavens, rising as invisible breath, forming clouds that hold memory and meaning. So too do your thoughts, your silent prayers, your radiant emotions, ascending into the unseen sky of consciousness, awaiting the perfect moment to return as experiences that quench the soul's thirst. The sky of reflection. The cloud above you is no stranger, it is your own reflection suspended in mist. It mirrors the temperature of your attitude, the hue of your emotion. When your mind radiates gratitude, the sky brightens. When your spirit storms, the heavens echo. The world, ever faithful, responds to the weather you release. Ancient sky observers, the sages of Babylon, Egypt, and Greece lifted their eyes not merely to watch the clouds, but to listen. They knew the heavens spoke in symbols, returning to humankind the essence of its own thought. Your every intention, rising like incense, joins this ancient dialogue between earth and ether. The ionosphere's temple, high above, the ionosphere hums with electrical prayer. It is the divine archive where each human wish, especially those born of faith and feeling, is recorded in light. When you center your attention there, you enter the temple of unseen energy, where your desires begin to crystallize into destiny. Evaporation of the inner sea, within you lies an ocean of feeling, shimmering beneath thought. When you release desire with love rather than need, it evaporates upward, carried by the warm current of trust. The sky receives it and begins the sacred work of condensation, turning emotion into experience. The law of atmospheric return, nature teaches reciprocity. The moisture that rises must one day fall, the prayer that ascends must one day be answered. What you send into the clouds of spirit returns, changed, enriched, ripened, bearing the shape of the consciousness that released it. The subtle weather of mind, there are tempests of doubt and breezes of faith. There are monsoons of emotion and gentle drizzles of inspiration. To command your weather is to harmonize your inner sky, balancing warmth with calm, passion with peace, so that abundance may rain softly and continuously upon your life. The golden condensation, when thought and faith combine, the vapor becomes golden. It ascends beyond the visible sky, to regions of radiant potential. There, the divine mind enfolds it, blessing it with form and structure, and when the time ripens, it descends as the gold of opportunity, wealth, and prosperity. Magnetism in the air, every thought of abundance is a magnetic charge released into the ionosphere. These charges cluster together, forming currents of resonance that draw similar energies. Thus, the sky becomes a mirror field, where prosperity begins to shape itself in answer to your radiance. Celestial participation, to pray is not to beg, but to participate. When you offer your desires into the atmosphere, you are working with cosmic law, joining the rhythm of evaporation and return. You are becoming one with the creative breath of the earth, a living participant in the divine cycle of manifestation. The cloud as conscious instrument, the cloud listens. It is the sky's ear. It measures the vibration of your feelings, the tone of your thought. When love fills your words, the atmosphere hums with harmony. When gratitude ascends, the cloud brightens with possibility. The sky is a partner in your prosperity. The rain of providence, each drop of rain that falls is the earth receiving its own reflection back. So it is with you, every blessing that arrives in your life is your own thought returning, purified by time and divine intelligence. It is the weather pattern of your own belief. The cosmic breath cycle, the entire earth breathes, oceans rising, clouds forming, rain returning. This is the rhythm of manifestation. When you breathe your intentions upward, spirit inhales them, transforming them into blessings. When spirit exhales, you receive those blessings in perfect divine timing. Harmony between earth and sky, the wise live in balance with the atmosphere of their own mind. They know that negative emotion thickens the air, that love clears it. When the sky within is clear, the heavens above align. Abundance then descends like spring rain, soft, constant, nourishing every root of your life. The eternal rainmaker, you are both the ocean and the sky. You are the dreamer and the dream. Each thought, each emotion, is a drop rising into divine intelligence. Each experience that returns is your own creation, blessed by heaven. When you offer your desires with faith and stillness, you summon the sacred rain of prosperity from the clouds of your own soul.